Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day as always. Shout out to the 19. Folks, we got to talk a little bit unrivaled. We finally have the first 2 weeks complete so we can compare days to previous days, which makes a lot more sense. So we look at opening night. Opening night was not bad. I talked about it. Not bad. 300 and what was it, 360 and 313, something like that for the first two games on Friday night. Obviously, significantly lower on Saturday afternoon. But what did they do for the second week? Were they able to retain those viewers? And the answer is no. No, they were not. They were now look, they didn't crater. Let's be fair. They didn't crater, but they are significantly down. When you're talking about, I think 313,000 for the first Friday, and now we have this most recent Friday night, we're looking at 270,000, 260,000. We're talking about 50 or 60,000 so down. We're looking at 15 to 20% decrease. At 15%, which hey, if you had a million viewers on opening night because you had a lot of people hyped up and you only dropped 10, 15, 20% the next week and you're able to hold that. That is not it's not bad, but we're not looking at that. They didn't really have a whole lot of room, a whole lot of margin for error when you look at these numbers. And then if we go to Saturday, how did they do on Saturday? Saturday, they only had the first 120,000, but keep in mind that is the average. Now, here it says the average even a little lower, 98,000. The games, if we break them up, man, Lunar Owls, 118,000, Missed Rose, 76,000. That is the other thing I would like to point out that is troublesome to me is these games are short, right? These are short games. And yet we keep seeing significant drops from game one to game two, even though the games are short, even though you're talking about it's basically a 2 for 1, right? I mean, there's obviously some variation, but if you look at Major League Baseball games or how long an NBA game takes or football, you're getting two of these basketball games in that same time frame. And yet the drop off is significant. It is significant. You had what? Monday, Monday again down. It says about 10% here. I think it was down a little more than that from the previous week. And the previous week had a lot more competition, right? That was now it also did have, as it says here, it had the NBA doubleheader lead in, but a lot of people were like, oh, well, it wasn't fair. They went up against the CFP national championship. I don't think that's the same audience, but okay, I'll give you that. But they didn't have that this week. And again, significant drop off. Game one, 192,000. Game two, 134,000. That's like a 30 to 35% drop off from the first game to the second game. Then Saturday, 118,000 to 76,000 viewers. Folks, 76,000 viewers is not even on the radar. A professional sports league is not going to survive on 76,000 viewers. Now, of course, that second game, the massive drop off. Now, I would have thought it would have gone up, right? From game one, you had Lunar Owls against Phantom, 118,000, then Missed Rose, 76,000. Now, playing for the Rose is this young lady. So I don't understand how he dropped from 118,000 all the way down to 76,000 when this young lady was playing.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Yeah, I think the laughter is a little bit mean.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Then again, when I see the absolute arrogance in the delivery of that statement, it is kind of funny. Not watching just because of one person, it's me too. That's who y'all watching for, me too, which is why 76,000 people tuned in. During the WNBA season, I had videos that did more than that on this tiny little channel. Just saying, I would love to see one of those again. Oh my goodness. But other thing I want to point out with about Saturday as well. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, that was a true TV game." Sure, sure, I get that, but that's the channel the games are on. That's the media rights deal they were able to get, and it is significantly lower from the week before. But also, just to give you an idea, now is it fair to look at, hey, college basketball, men's college basketball on ESPN doing 1.75 million, 1.69, 1.34. All right, that's not kind of fair. Not really fair. NBA Pacers Spurs on ESPN, 950,000. By the way, that's not so good either. But how about this, folks? How about this? Premier League Soccer, which is not even an American league, it's an English league for soccer. Nottingham and Bournemouth, not teams that anybody is really wanting to watch. I can tell you that for those of you that don't know, those are a couple of clubs that kind of go up and down. Real quick, for those who don't know, soccer has promotion relegation. They have multiple professional leagues, what we would call the top tier. The Premier League's the top tier, which would be like the NBA or the NFL or what have you. But if you finish in the bottom three, you get demoted to a league lower the next season. Okay. These two teams, that happens to them. These are not big clubs. They're not clubs that a lot of American fans even know. Still did 280,000 on a Saturday afternoon on USA. And then US figure skating championships, pairs, free skate, 410,000. The second Unrivaled game did 76,000. 76,000. The first one only did 118. These are not numbers of a league that's going to be able to sustain themselves. Again, I know that they did everything they could to absolutely minimize expenses, but that is also the point. The whole talk was about, right, playing in different locations. They cannot expand and play in different locations like a traditional sports league if they are going to get these types of ratings. I mean, I know I've said it a few times already, but 76,000. That is simply not going to get it done. You cannot pay these players. You cannot put franchises in different areas. And remember, they're not getting anything from people actually showing up because it's the size of a high school gym at a small high school. And yeah, they may be packing it with five or 600 people, but again, that's five or 600 people. Wow. But I'm going to leave it there. I know no one's gonna watch this one, but I felt like I had to do it. It's one of the things that I cover, and it is a problem. It is a warning sign because I'll leave you with one more thing that I should have talked about. For me, one of the things I thought about with Unrivaled is, yes, there was that opportunity for players not having to go overseas. Again, players don't actually have to play again when you look at what they make. Are they what we would call the rich? No. Do most of them make significantly more than the typical American worker who works 40 plus hours a week, 52 weeks out of the year? Yeah, they do better than that. So they don't have to play. But anyway, that is kind of the face of, hey, this is why we're doing it, this great opportunity, players don't have to go overseas, and on and on. My belief is what it was really about, that you've seen kind of leaked here and there, is it 100% about, hey, if we can do this and we can be successful, it's going to give us a lot of leverage in negotiations in the CBA with the WNBA, and we can get a lot of concessions of things that they might not have given us because we have this threat of a new league that is doing well. I don't think they're going to have that now. I don't think the WNBA is looking at this and being like, wow, well, they could end up being the new professional league, so maybe we better give them all these concessions. Otherwise, they're just going to say the heck with the WNBA and play in this very successful Unrivaled. That's not going to happen. But let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Really appreciate you checking out this video as always. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. It's like something like 60% of the viewers aren't subscribed. Go ahead, do it. I promise you it won't hurt. Give it a shot. And I'll talk to you later.